Welcome. Thank you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the second annual Pluralsight Live. Yeah. You feel that energy being live together? So incredible. Welcome to our customers. Welcome to our authors, our partners, our investors, our press, and our analysts. We're so glad you're all here, and we hope you feel welcome in the great Silicon Slopes. Yeah. Like that video just demonstrated, being together for Pluralsight Live creates a transformational experience in which all of you and all of us and the Pluralsight platform are energized, activated, and changed for the better. That's what Live's all about, and I'm confident that's the experience you'll have with us this week. So thanks again for coming and being here. Our theme this week is a lens into the future. Our goal as we peer through that lens together is to amplify our collective vision and see what's possible when technology can be put to use for good all over the world. We have amazing sessions and speakers lined up this week. We've already heard from Caitlin Kalinowski from Oculus, Crystal Yan from the US Digital Service, and Deborah Curata, one of the many esteemed Pluralsight authors here on our stage. And I'm really proud to announce that this year, over 41% of our speakers are incredible women from all over technology. Give it up for them. We have some incredible customers, innovators, and partners here with us this week, like Google, Microsoft, Target, Amazon, Starbucks, VMware, and many, many more. And we'll be covering topics that are critical to our collective future. Things like AI, blockchain, crypto, data science and machine learning, cloud, modern software development techniques, and of course, the Pluralsight platform and how we can help you. And PS Live wouldn't be complete without an incredible global leader on our stage, someone who can really challenge our thinking. You know, after last year, many people said to me, Aaron, I don't think you can top that. But I think we did. Tomorrow, I'll be proud to host the world's youngest Nobel Peace Prize winner, a global symbol for human rights, and an international icon for girls' education, the one and only Malala. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be an incredible few days, and I just can't wait to get started. So let's dive in. I want you to think for a minute about why we're all here. What would have you come to Pluralsight Live? The reason is because we're facing a massive challenge and opportunity as an industry. When I was a kid, there were only a couple of programming languages. And now today, there are over 250 programming languages and frameworks, many of which get updated as many as 8 times per year. Now, an average software developer has to master 9 skills to be proficient in their role. A React web developer has an even higher bar. They have to master 17 skills, including things like HTML5, CSS, Redux, Bootstrap, and many more. The pace is daunting. And in order to win, we must embrace that challenge and seize that opportunity and create a new future. So I want you to just imagine for a moment that you're standing in front of a crossroads. And what you may not realize in that moment is that one of these roads leads to success and innovation, while the other road leads to complacency and decline. But you can't really see it in that moment. The key difference between those two roads is simple. It's your commitment to technology and a future technology strategy. You're either setting the pace or trying to keep up. You know, in my lifetime, and just so you know, I'm already a grandpa, if you can believe that, I have seen tremendous transformational shifts that have happened all over the place, that have disrupted entire industries. Do you guys remember the rotary phone? So I have clear memories of this. Back in my little home in Southeast Portland, and I was standing there in the kitchen because the phone was actually attached to the wall with a wire. And I would get frustrated when I had to dial numbers that had 9s in them because I had to go all the way around. You guys remember this? And then because the handset was attached to the wall, I had to like hide in the broom closet to have privacy when talking to my girlfriends. We've come so far from rotary phones to wireless to completely mobile experiences. From taxis and car rentals to car sharing on demand just by pressing a button. From retail stores to e-commerce to instant delivery via drone. From gas and electric cars to incredible battery technology that are changing the way we think about moving around. And from banks to PayPal to Stripe, Venmo, and more. Things are shifting. Things are changing dramatically. It's happening everywhere. And with each of these technology-driven transformational shifts, some companies won and some didn't. Just take a look at the Fortune 500 list back in 1955. If you take a snapshot of that list and fast forward to today, only 12% of those companies are still on that list 62 years later. Why? The ones who stayed on the list committed to technology and they learned how to evolve and embrace it. The ones who dropped off the list didn't. But every company on that list had the opportunity. They had the choice to take advantage of those technologies to change their futures. And the companies that win in the next 60 years will do the very same thing. More companies will stay on, and some companies will fall off. Not that long ago, I was sitting in New York City with one of the world's largest banks. I was sitting with their C-level executives, and I could tell these executives looked a little bit different than some of the others. They were committed to embracing technology for the future of the bank. And when I asked why, I discovered that their CEO, this is JP Morgan, by the way, the CEO of JP Morgan, Jamie Dimon, had recently declared that JP Morgan is no longer a bank. No, JP Morgan is a tech company disguised as a bank. Think about that for a minute. Think about that mindset and what it means in terms of shifting the way that entire organization operates. That's what will keep JP Morgan on the Fortune 500 list 60 years from now. Here at Pluralsight, we've experienced our own version of this transformation. You know, we weren't always a cloud-based platform. In the early days of Pluralsight, back in 2004, we started in the physical classroom, teaching people live, just like this. And over time, over that next decade, we moved from the physical classroom to the virtual classroom to a completely cloud-based experience. And now we're using data science and really advanced data-driven techniques to create a personalized, adaptive experience for individuals all over the world in over 150 different countries. So when you hear that statement from JP Morgan, we think of ourselves that way too. Pluralsight is no longer just a learning company. No. Pluralsight is a tech company disguised as a learning platform. Thank you. And I invite you to think about your businesses that way. Can you say the same thing? Intentionally deciding to become a tech company requires you to first look at the skills you need to create that future. That's at the start of all of it. When you do that, you'll quickly realize that the technology skills you need are strategic to your future. Let's just look at another well-known example in a company that I'm sure you all use called Netflix. How many of you use Netflix? Okay, that looks like pretty much every hand in the room. Did you remember that Netflix used to send DVDs to your house? Do you remember that? You'd have to manage your queue online through a website, and they'd actually physically mail you physical discs that you would put into a DVD player. Then they realized that actually sending you information, data, bits through a wire would be a lot less expensive. And it would also be a lot better for you in terms of the experience. The early leaders at Netflix saw this digital technology-driven opportunity, and they saw it when they were small. They saw it when it was early. They were at that crossroads, and they realized to win, they would need to get the right people with the right skills to embrace that technology future. So what did they do? They committed to a technology strategy, and they started investing in technology skills development across their organization, investing in their people. That was the new future for them. And they knew even that wouldn't be enough to move as fast towards this future that they saw. So Netflix went into the broader ecosystem to tap into the advanced skills that they knew existed in the market. They announced this thing called the Netflix Prize. Does anybody here remember that? The Netflix Prize? It was a bounty, $1 million for the individual or team who could come up with the very best user recommendation algorithm to drive their digital viewing experience in the new digital Netflix. Teams competed over 3 years all over the world. And in 2009, Netflix awarded a team called Belcor's Pragmatic Chaos the prize. And that team consisted of some of the smartest computer scientists and researchers from numerous countries across Europe. The outcome of this contribution really moved the needle for Netflix. Over time, Netflix began to win because of these data-driven experiences and the data science they had now built into their platform. They knew it was the skills, the tech skills, that would make the difference. Over the next 10 years, Netflix went from 0 to more than 30% of all home entertainment revenue in the United States. Incredible results. And the single most important decision they made was this commitment to a technology strategy and building those skills they needed to execute on it. And I promise you, the same will be true for all of you over the next 10 years. Just look at what's coming right now. We have things like AI, blockchain, crypto, augmented reality, virtual reality, and so much more. These are the skills that are going to change our futures. And you can't get them fast enough to compete. They must become a strategic priority. 10 years from now, it will be your skills in these key areas that determine which road you're taking. So how are you going to build that capability? At this point in my presentation, it may sound obvious, but I can guarantee you that most companies simply don't see it this way. Only 26% of leaders said that their IT organizations' skills and digital experiences and technology are above average. 52% of leaders say skill development is either unstructured or a direct response to immediate needs. Only 13% see these technology skills as strategic. There's good news and bad news in that. The good news is that's a great opportunity for all of you. They don't see it. The question is, do you? What are you willing to do to make these technology skills a strategic part of your company's future? and to create the skills you need to win. I'm happy to say that Pluralsight is here to help. We're your partner in all of this. Our SaaS platform enables you to win in this new digital age. It's our rapid content development engine, our innovative learning experiences that enable you to keep up with the fast pace of technology change and make technology skills strategic within your companies. The Pluralsight platform will ultimately allow you to create the future you envision, the future you can see. We're not just content and courses anymore. No, Pluralsight is the technology learning platform to enable and empower your future success. Just like sales leaders have Salesforce.com and HR leaders have Workday.com, technology leaders now have Pluralsight.com. Thank you. We're their go-to platform. The platform they embrace and engage with every day to drive digital transformation and ongoing innovation. It's how we help Johnson Controls eliminate cybersecurity risks that could cost them and their customers millions. It's how we help O2 Telefonica deliver award-winning web and mobile apps all over Europe. And while you're here this week at Live, I invite you to listen to the many Pluralsight customers who are here, sharing their stories of success and how they've used the Pluralsight platform to create a new future for themselves and their customers. And I promise you, we can do the same for you. Here at Pluralsight, we're also constantly innovating and disrupting ourselves because we know that everything I just said is true for us too. So we're innovating in the realms of content and product experiences. One of our most recent innovations that I want to tell you about is something that we released earlier this year called the Pluralsight Technology Index. And I'm really proud of this innovation within our company. This index ranks the demand and growth rate of over 300 popular technologies across the industry. And it's done in a completely data-driven way using data science. We pull from nearly 8 billion data points from across various developer and IT-oriented sites to calculate global popularity and trending growth rates of each of these technologies. We then publish the technology list into the Pluralsight Technology Index. This equips our CIOs and CTO customers and their teams with valuable insights on the growing and declining technology trends to better inform their strategies. And guess what? We use it too. We use that same data-driven technology index to better inform our content strategy, to ensure that we're delivering the right piece of content at the right moment in time for every individual on our platform. Last year, we also introduced you to a brand new capability within the Pluralsight platform called Iris. Yes! Iris is the data science behind our platform, and isn't she beautiful? Iris is learning and growing every year. You know, we introduced Iris last year and started collecting a tremendous amount of data across our customer base. We also introduced you to one of the first experiences built on top of the Iris Foundation, which is the science. The new experience is called Pluralsight IQ. The first member of that family was Skill IQ. Skill IQ measures the proficiency in a specific technology skill. Now, in the last year, we've collected over 1 million Skill IQs from across the industry and benchmarked them. With each data point we collect, Iris becomes smarter, and our learning becomes more personalized for every individual. Skill IQ has made it possible for us to now identify the strengths and the gaps at the skill level for every individual and every organization on our platform. We've made a lot of progress with Iris and Pluralsight IQ, but there's so much more we can do to measure proficiency, not just at the skill level, but for a role or a job. The way most companies do this today are insufficient at best. They tend to use a lot of HR consultants, vendor certifications, manual in-person onboarding techniques, but those types of things only get you so far. As a result, most technology leaders don't understand their existing talent, and they don't know where their strengths and gaps exist. We know we need a better way. So today, I'm excited to introduce you to the newest member of the Pluralsight IQ family, Role IQ. So exciting. What's possible with this? With Role IQ, you now have a groundbreaking new way to measure proficiency in a role. And the best part, it's free for everyone, anywhere in the world. Let's see how it works.
When you build a great product, you do it with precision. You don't just wing it, you have a plan. Why don't you approach teams the same way? Because you can't. Oftentimes, putting the right people on the right projects feels like a guessing game. You're in the dark. Let's say you need to build a new enterprise web app to replace some aging legacy software. How do you know you have the right people to pull it off? You could walk into a room and ask, "Who here's a web developer?" You might get a fair share of takers. Great, but I need people who know Angular. Yeah? Okay, but who's really experienced? Let me show you what Pluralsight's Role IQ can do for you. With Role IQ, people will finally know which skills really matter for their jobs. They can prove how good they are, or see if they're falling behind. They'll know what it takes to become the best. It's the way to quantify roles across your technology teams. And you can customize roles and build teams to tackle your biggest objectives. Whether that's moving critical apps to the cloud, eliminating cybersecurity threats, or building your next great customer experience. It's time to move from chaos to clarity. With Role IQ, you can now quantify the talent across all your teams. So you can make the right calls, deliver faster, and nail your goals. Stop the guesswork. Go rock your role.
What do you think? Really excited about this one. Role IQ gives you the ability to measure a collection of skills that make up a role. First time this has ever been possible. Now you can get a Role IQ for a specific role like a Node web developer, a security analyst, or a systems administrator. And once someone enlists in a role to get their Role IQ, those individual technologists will get greater clarity on the skills required for success in that role, and a clear path to mastery as they continue their learning journey. Role IQ further adapts the learning experience for those individuals, speeds it up, and makes it even more effective. 88% of our beta users said that Role IQ helped them better understand their job proficiency and move faster. Role IQ also enables technology leaders who are trying to make sense of all of it from up here. It allows them to standardize roles as a collection of skills, and then they can identify the skills gaps that exist across the organization and in the people in those roles. And because the last mile for every customer is always different, we give leaders the capability to customize roles, to create new ones, to define them as a collection of skills from across our library, allowing you to better align your organization's unique needs to your future strategy. Then, you can clearly quantify the talent on your teams, expose those skills gaps, and close them once and for all. Role IQ, in the end, allows you to move from chaos to clarity. Even the biggest software companies in the world need this capability. It's not just all of you. Microsoft has shown tremendous leadership over the last few years in working with us to cultivate an ecosystem of Microsoft Azure skills, relying on our content and skill IQ. And now, today, they're building on role IQ. We're proud to have Microsoft here with us this week as our official Role IQ launch partner. So now, please welcome to the stage Jeff Sandquist, GM of Cloud plus AI Developer Relations at Microsoft, to talk to us about this partnership. Jeff, come on out.
Buddy.
Up here.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Really great to see you.
So good to have Jeff here. Here, Jeff, have a seat.
Great.
So, Jeff, your title is interesting. You're the GM of AI plus Cloud Developer Relations, and I saw a tagline, a description of that you're basically, your intention, your goal is to reinvent Microsoft's relationship with developers around the world. Is that?
Every company's transforming, and we're more, no different than that. We're not your mother and father's Microsoft. We're building a great team across around the world that is connecting with developers, people that are committers to the Linux kernel, Node developers, .NET developers, all folks that are looking to go help you get connected to the cloud. And through that transformation, partnerships like that with Pluralsight is so important for us to be able to reach folks.
Awesome. And has anyone noticed a difference in Microsoft over the last few years? Yeah? Yeah, I think that's crystal clear. Yeah. Such great work, and thank you for your contributions to the industry, to the community.
It's so important, with the changes that are going on. You talked about the number of languages from a Node developer and how hard it is to learn. And how do you remove that friction?
Yeah.
And being able to go online and being able to connect, that's where a lot of my folks that live. They go connect on Twitter. They go use online training. They use those to help developers. And much like you're not going to go tell somebody you need to speak French to do business, you're not going to tell a developer that they need to do C#. They're going to bring the language that they want. So whether they're a Node developer, a C# developer, HTML5, any type of developer we want to be the cloud for that.
Awesome. Awesome. So Jeff, talk to the audience a little bit about why Microsoft decided to partner with Pluralsight on Role IQ.
Role IQ is such a great way to assess your skills, right? And if you look at the different roles that are available for it, how can you make it easy to assess an organization? Now, here's what we know. We know that content, online materials, any type of form of learning and training drives growth of our business. That's how we drive growth of Azure. That's how we pay the bills every month and keep the lights on. And one of the best ways of doing that to get more developers is to partner so people can assess their skills. It's 2 in the morning, inspiration strikes, developer gets out on Google, they search, they look for that answer. We want to be on the other side of that. And by being online with you all, that allows us to reach any developer. They don't have to come to our sites to do it. They can go where they're comfortable. Pluralsight's a great place.
And do you see, before we go to the next question, do you see a connection between these Azure skills and what it means to your business in the end?
100%. First and foremost, like using a cloud, people have choice, right? They can go to Amazon, they can go to Azure, they can go to Google, right? There's 3 major cloud providers. The only way we're going to win people's business is by earning them, by delivering a great product and ensuring they have the skills. When people learn how to do things online, get that technical training, there's a direct correlation to growth of our products. We see it every day. We see double digits. We just have to get people able to consume content and understand where their skills are. You and your organizations, though, you have a bigger challenge. How do you get your people trained? How do you do it consistently? How do you assess that? What's the easiest way to do that? There's probably not a lot of easy ways to do that. You need something consistent. That's why this is important, because what we're trying to do as a business is help companies transform. A company that was not in the cloud, everybody now is a developer company. Every company is building these infrastructures, and this is a really great way for us to help an organization get ready for the cloud.
Yeah, that's great. Look, in the end, I see it very clearly. Like, one of the reasons why Microsoft is doing so well in the cloud is because you and your leadership sees that these skills are strategic, and there is a direct correlation to billings. And it's incredible to just see you executing on that and seeing the results play out. So next, talk to me about what Microsoft is wanting to solve with Role IQ.
You look at different roles to start, right? You look at this, whether you're a developer, a solution architect, or an administrator. How do you go and build those skills, right? Where do you get started? What are the building blocks? And so what we're trying to do is make it so that we can be the cloud for all, as we see. You can go down and see our booth. It's a great tagline. What it really means is that whatever developer you are, whatever you need to be able to go build with your business, how do we go enable you to get trained? And when we do this work with great partners with this, here's what I know about Pluralsight. How many Pluralsight authors, presenters out here? You guys are amazing, and gals. You're absolutely some of the best of the best. So we know we're going to have a great quality presenters. We care about our customers. We know when they come and visit Pluralsight, they're going to have great quality content. We know that they're going to be helped by a community of individuals, of fellow learners. And when all of that comes together, magic happens, right? People learn, people change their lives. You talked about changes in industry, right? I've been lucky too. We're both grandparents, believe it or not. And we both have grandkids and things like that. I've seen shifts of technology change happen, right? Whether it was the early days of Windows and things like that, or .NET and Java, those things brought opportunity. Right now, the world, with the move to the cloud, it's the single largest shift in computing in the history of the computing. No time has ever been greater. And sometimes us nerds, we got to go participate that and others didn't. Yeah. Now, what's going to happen is every company is becoming a developer company. And that shift, if you're into finances, there's about $1 trillion up for grab of business to go get. Great, go after that. You want to change your life? Great, you can build new skills. You want to change the world. The cloud is going to empower anybody regardless of where they live. Whether it's a small town in Saskatchewan where I grew up, San Francisco, Salt Lake City, or wherever you come from, the cloud will change and empower you. Together with Pluralsight, Role IQ, the work that we do, you can transform your organizations and you can transform yourself. So awesome. I'm very excited about it.
So who will ultimately, one more question.
Okay,
We're not getting off that easily. Yeah. Who will benefit from these roles that we're shipping?
Look, I lead a large team in a company. It's about 600 plus folks that work in my org. And every day you're trying to decide, how do you get ready for the next wave? How do you get ready and prepare yourself? So one, leaders of companies are going to be benefiting. Two, and this might be more, your customers, right? At the end of the day, you're training teams, those over here that are responsible for that. Your customers are trying to use your products and transform with your company. They're going to benefit. Your company is going to grow. Your shareholders are going to grow. And finally, you as individuals, what is the skill? What is the skill that you want to go learn this day? Even those are here that aren't a developer, that are learning how to help your company, what skill do you want to pick up? I find that when you reduce the friction, you make something free, you make sure people are aware and you drive that quality, that is what's going to really matter for folks. Awesome. And that is what's going to change. And our industry is always changing. We don't celebrate history. We don't necessarily celebrate tenure. You know, Microsoft had a lot of tenure and we weren't really, unless we were changing. We celebrate progress and innovation, and we celebrate the ability to change. And so all of those things will help us benefit.
On that note, Jeff, thank you so much for being here and sharing your story. Great work at Microsoft.
I really appreciate the partnership. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Oh. So as part of this incredible partnership, we've shipped 3 new Microsoft Azure roles that you can go check out in the Exchange and get started with. We're also thrilled to announce that Google has also committed to partnering with us on Role IQ, and we're working with many other large software companies on how we can do the same for them. With features like Iris, Skill IQ, and now Role IQ, no one can help you better lead through digital transformation and innovation better than Pluralsight. We're your platform. So go check it out at the Exchange and rock your role. We have some cool hats that you can get once you do that. These trucker hats with one of many different Pluralsight badges on the front. So now, imagine you're back at that crossroads we started with, and you're facing that decision. Do you see now the connection between the road that leads to success and innovation and this commitment to a future technology strategy? Do you now see the technology skills as strategic to your future and success? This means your tech strategy is now becoming your company strategy. Do you now see yourselves as tech companies, disguised as whatever it is that you do? We certainly see you that way here at Pluralsight. And as the resident tech leaders in your organizations, we know that you have the power to choose the path forward. You have a tremendous amount of influence. And it's time to take charge. Build the capabilities you need to win tomorrow by starting today with us. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you.